may be the relay for the magneto.
Okay.
The magneto shuts off, you turn the key off, trips the relay, and the relay grounds the magneto. Otherwise, it's always making fire. So that's what I'm thinking, because it's fine, and then all of a sudden it's just like you shut the key off.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then it came back on, I was able to start it.
So it like reset it?
Or cool down either.
Yeah.
No, it either just cooled down the relay, I mean, it could be the magneto itself, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try taking the ground wire off of it when I leave.
Yeah.
And see if it stays running.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So it's just shutting off by itself?
Yeah. Just driving along fine.
And it just
Never
shuts
did
off.
it before.
Yeah.
Just on the way to here, it did it just as I came down the straight street,
Really?
that main street.
And not too many people know about magnetos either. I mean, you don't see too many people running them anymore.
No,
That's true.
Yeah, they do put a lot of drag on the motor. You might steal some horsepower.
Right.
But if you're making enough, it really
Well,
doesn't matter.
hey.
But I just like them.
Hey,
Look who's here,
oh,
buddy.
God, Lori showed up.
Ah, Lori's here, man.
Hey,
Check
look
it
at
out.
that. We got a full house here today.
Yeah, wow.
Oh my God!
Let's
look
check
at
this out.
30s, 60s, and 50s.
And 50s, wow.
Wow, this is nice.
What are you doing here?
Just thought I'd just come to hang out.
Hi.
Oh, man.
Hi. How you doing? Nice to see you today.
I love having her here. That's awesome. I've been wanting to see this 57.
This is beautiful.
Let's get her a mic and get her mic'd
yeah,
up
let's get
here
her
and
mic.
stuff.
We'd love to talk about it. I've seen it a number of times at the show. It's a gorgeous car she has.
Yeah, I've never
Thank
seen
you.
this.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, let's give a few shout outs
Yes.
real quick before we get started like usual. Go ahead.
Okay, Kelly from Nature Coast Cruising.
And Nick.
Does a great job that and you know personally. Awesome people. Leadfoot City, we can't wait.
Yeah.
We keep waiting to see what's happening, and it's getting closer.
Yeah. And then Tara with FloridaCarshows.com, FLACarshows.com.
Yep.
They do all the shows in Florida.
Beautiful job.
Newsletter, all kinds of stuff. So get hooked up with them. But it's so awesome you pulled up today. And you know what's cool about this,
What's that?
right? Three guys hanging out on cars, right? Everybody sees the guys, right?
I know.
And the guys dominate the car things
I
a lot of times. Here's a woman that does her own thing, buddy.
I know. My hat's off to her. We'll get to those stories in a few minutes. But,
Yeah.
I mean, one of them is she wants to go to the Keys and drive it, and we'll talk more about it.
Yeah,
and that's impressive.
Tell us a little bit about your experience as a woman in the car scene.
Well, I had always wanted a 50s car since I was in my 20s. And then when I got together with my husband, I determined it was a 57 because of the fins.
Yeah.
And it had to be a Chevrolet. And it had to be a two-door. And so it took about 6 years to find what we were looking for because I wanted a daily driver.
Yeah.
People told me, no, you can't have a daily driver. I said, then I don't want a car because that's what cars are for.
Sure.
And so I got her about 2 years ago and have done a couple of things to her, but I started going to the car shows, and I got to tell you, women between the ages of about 18 and 27 love these cars.
Yeah.
And
It's good to know.
That's interesting.
it's been very interesting, and I love sharing her with people. And like I said, the women are really interested in this. Unfortunately, the car show thing is dominated by men mostly, and so I try to find the women as they're walking by, and I show them the car, ask them where to put the gas in the tank, and they enjoy that. And a lot of them have said, I've always wanted one, and maybe I've inspired them a little bit.
Yeah. Just, we always say this, guys, look, it shouldn't be male dominated. And I think that just comes from, the progression, right, of males and females over the years and all that. And that's changed.
A lot changed drastically.
We got to get the women and the children involved, men too, obviously, but to keep this thing going, you guys know that's what the show's about. But man, I bet, what would you say? I would say 1 or 2% of women are even into this scene. Would you agree, or you think it's a little higher?
Yeah, I think it's probably about that, and I think that the fear that women have is that they feel that they have to know everything about cars, and that's not true. That's why you come here and you hang out with the guys, so you learn about cars, and you go to car shows and you talk to people and learn more about cars. I had a little 10-year-old boy show up at one of the car shows a while back, and he told me everything about this car, and he was all excited, and I learn a lot. I was a teacher for 29 years, so I love to learn constantly, and so anytime anyone can tell me anything about my car, and I've got a really good mechanic now who takes pictures of before and after. He explains everything to me and even lets me do part of the things, the small things with the car.
She brings up a lot of good points, and one of them, let people get involved with it. Let them sit in the seat. Let them, tinker with something under the hood. That's the key. And like you said, for women and younger people, just get into it, right? You don't have to know. It's a great point. You don't have to be an expert. And that is a problem. I'm going to admit that, Steve, is that most guys, and we know this, we get comments on the channel where everybody's an expert, right? And no offense against anybody, but we claim not to be experts. We just love the cars, right? And that's what it should be about. So it's so don't worry if you don't know anything about them. Just get out and start being part of it. Yeah, and that's what Lori's done.
And you can Google something.
Right. Well, you get everything on Google. Let's go around this beautiful thing.
I'm going to make a point. Before my wife met me, she never rode in an antique car or a truck.
Yeah.
And since she met me after 25 years, she just loves the people, the Camaro, the Mercury and all that. And she loves going out to the shows when she can, puts her chair out in her pad, and then she puts it away and starts talking, and she loves that. So she's getting involved in it too.
And there's different...
And your wife too. Your wife.
Yeah, there's different levels of it. Like my wife doesn't want to do anything on the car. She doesn't want to touch it or mess with it, but she likes going with me. We go to breakfast in it or a car show. So whatever level you want to get into it, just get into it.
Get into it, yes.
But the key is that we let people get into it. You go to some car shows and don't touch the car and this and that. Well, how are people going to enjoy it?
Stanchion's this far away.
I mean, I got into it, and I know you did through the dealership, but I got into it because somebody let me sit in it, and somebody let me act like I was driving, and now all of a sudden, or let me get under the hood and tinker with something.
Started as high,
and then I was stuck. But I want to go over this thing.
Let's go.
And so, Lori, tell us just sort of an overview, what you got here, what year, make, model, all the kind of stuff.
Well, this is a 57 Belair, two-door. It's got a 350 Chevy engine in it. Recently, it was rebuilt again. It's all pretty much new under the hood. Everything's been done to it. It was a rotisserie frame-off restoration.
Nice.
Originally, it was black. I still haven't been able to figure out, the color in the interior, but it was black. But it's been red for quite a few years. I put in, when I first got it, although it was pretty much a drivable car, I put the vintage air in it.
Nice.
And like I said, the importance is getting a good mechanic that knows what they're doing and that's also willing to share with you instead of hiding things, in the back and what they're doing.
Right.
And charging an extra $5,000 for this and $10,000 for that.
Well, and she brings up a good point here is, look, getting involved with the community, and we had a car club here, right, the Wellington, from Seven Hills, Spring Hill, Florida. Group. But they were saying the same thing is, look, talk to other car people, because you can find a good mechanic, but don't just haphazardly look for one. And I know that happened to you and it's happened to a lot of people, but there are good mechanics out there. And so don't be afraid, women and young children, to ask. Ask, do you know somebody? Learn, get educated on it, because we do know good paint people or good mechanics.
Ask a few people.
Right. So let's point out some things. I wanted to bring this up. Yeah, go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
No, I'd love the plate. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the name of the car we can show people here is Scarlett. So go ahead and tell us the story behind the name of the car.
Well, Scarlett is not just because she's red, but also she reminds, the personality of this car is similar to Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind.
And we all know that.
She's got her own personality, and
so
even my mechanic calls her Scarlett.
Yeah, so she can be cantankerous and
exactly.
hard to get along with.
I think I got two of them in my garage.
I'm going to say, well, if you've got old cars like this, it's like my wife always says, when are you going to be done with that car?
Never.
I'm like, never. You're never done with it. Point out some things here, Steve, on the front.
This here, this would take my whole pension fund and to re-chrome this whole front end and the back end, I love this front end. How all this came out and the bumper guards, all the trim. These are air vents that go through here. fresh air goes into the car and up in here. She put modern, what's it, LED?
LED.
Oh, this is, you have to have these.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, see. Look at this, not a pit on these. Now, if you took your 56, has the bird comes out in the center. These have like little wings. I guess maybe from the space program.
This was going into the rocket era. And
Rocket
if you
era.
remember,
Right.
of course, they got the big
Yeah,
fins,
Right.
which we'll look at in the back. But in 58, after this, the wings came out, and then 59 and 60, they kept coming out. So beginning of the whole rocket program.
And this is about when Sputnik went up in the air.
Yeah,
about
yeah,
around
right
the
around
same-
that
Yeah,
time.
right around 57.
Yeah.
So, but it's immaculate. Everything's nice. This is not cracked. It's all beautiful.
Yeah.
All of the chrome was replaced except around the windows, because the side windows, I believe, are the original windows.
Oh.
You can see in the chrome there's a couple of little pits, but it's a Florida car. It was sold in Florida, and it's been in Florida its entire life. So there's not a lot of rust under the car.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
May I open the door?
Yeah.
Now, they have a flap here, which is really interesting. It's called, this is a hardtop. Remember, because both windows go down. It's not a sedan. So when you have this, where they both go down.
Right, so you only have the A pillar and the B
Yes,
pillar.
exactly.
That's it. There's nothing in between.
And I liked here because look at this, just not much back here, a lot of visibility. It was just a cool design. But when you open this up, right here, watch this. Look how that is. So, and then when you shut it, it just kind of, I don't want to slam it, but it goes down and seals.
I never knew
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And then, you know, we'd always talk about inside here. Look at this, where this here, you take this and go like, this little button, go like this, and you take the wing window, and it's just, it's the beauty of these cars. Would you like to talk a little bit about your interior, because this is interesting here?
Well, I don't know if it's period correct. However, I have seen other Chevrolets that are period correct that have the red houndstooth, red and white houndstooth. You were talking about this little flap. When I first saw it, I thought something was wrong with the car, and I had to ask my mechanic. Oh no, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But it's
Well, what I like is they did not butcher up the dashboard.
yeah.
Most of them, they put holes or gauges or something. It's beautiful. You did put electronic inside.
Well, it was there when I got it.
Okay.
When they put the air conditioner in, that's another thing I learned from mechanics, is that the parts that you put in these cars are made for the way it was back then. And so this air conditioner took a lot of the dash. In fact, the glove box is only about an inch or two now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, back in 57, you could order air.
Yeah.
Very rare.
Yeah.
Very rare.
Yeah.
Very rare. But you could order air back then.
This one uses the original slide controls down there, the vintage air does.
Okay, yes. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so see the slide controls right
So that's
to the
good.
right of the steering
It doesn't
column.
look aftermarket. It
Yeah.
doesn't look hokey.
Yeah.
It's very well done, this car.
Yeah, now is that radio updated? Or
No,
is that the original?
that's another one of my little expenses. You know, you got your list of things you
Yeah.
want to do later.
Sure.
It's actually a cassette player, so I just put the little cassette auxiliary in there and plug it to my phone.
Gotcha. I noticed she added a little console in the middle for drink holder and stuff. Very nice.
And that comes out, so
Yeah.
when I get four of my friends together, we can fit like 5 people pretty
Oh, there
tight
you
in
go.
there, but I take up the console and put that in the back, and
Yeah.
we just...
Now this is called a split bench, so it's a bench seat, but it's split in the middle, and that's how you let people in and out
look
in the
at
back.
Ugh.
I love that
I'm ready to go
interior
cruising
laid
right
out.
now.
Yeah, this is a gorgeous
It's
car.
hard to get in and out of that back seat, and like I was telling these guys one time that when I can get somebody to get back there, I give them the paper towels and the Windex, and they clean the windows.
That's a good idea.
It is a good
I like
idea.
that idea.
Especially the kids, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at some of the
Yeah.
things from the side here. And again, this is a, go ahead and shut that. This is a Belair, so this would have been the best package you could have got, right? And you got the stainless going down the
Chrome.
side.
The stainless,
What we were talking about with the fin, and again in 58 these started to come out, and then they came way out in 59
I
and
always
60.
like this. This, I like this. I've always liked it.
Yeah, yeah, it really adds
Beautiful,
to it. So it's
beautiful.
got the major trim package on it. And we pointed this out, and these are called what?
The dual whips.
The dual whips.
I put a foxtail or whatever on it, don't
Yeah.
I? Yeah.
Yeah,
Cruising
yeah.
down the road.
So-
and then some lightning straps.
So dual antennas on the back of it.
Oh, hey, we got to talk about.
I was just going to say, go ahead.
Oh, the Cragars.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody had to have a Cragar. When they came out, that was the wheel.
Absolutely.
That was it. It
what I
still
like?
is to me.
I was just going to say
Still
that.
is. I love them.
Now, Lori, did you add those, or were those on there?
Those were on there.
Okay. Is that you? That's what you like? Is
Oh
that,
yeah, I liked it.
It's a
I
great
liked it,
taste.
so I put it on there, or I kept them on there. Like I said, I wanted a car that was a daily driver,
Yeah.
and
Beautiful.
that's a little iffy with car people. Sometimes they're real purist and they want everything the way it was. But like I said, I wanted to drive it.
We need to.
What's your favorite saying?
We need to talk about that for a minute
Okay.
because
Okay.
it's okay to be a purist. That's one type of car, right? Then there's drivers, then there's hot rods, then there's, drag
Hot
cars.
rods, drag
There's
cars.
all kinds of levels and all of them are good. Again, if we fight against each other on this stuff and put each other down, it doesn't help promote the community of the cars, right? So we always say it.
What is it?
Build
Build
it to
your
taste.
Yeah.
Always, whatever
Yeah.
you
And
like, that's what you
This
need
is
to
what
do.
you have to drive, and you like it. It
Exactly.
doesn't matter to anybody else.
And she made it a driver. Now, it does have a little cam in it. It has
Yep.
aluminum heads, and we'll look at some of that. But she wants a driver. She wants to enjoy it, not have to mess with it a lot, not be too fast or anything where it's dangerous, and just enjoy it, which is awesome. Now, I did notice she's got the black walls,
Yeah.
which I love on this car.
Oh, it's perfect. The color, the chrome, the black walls, everything, it's all separated just right.
Yeah.
Proportioned just right.
Yeah, and we'll see
To my eyes.
We'll see under the hood how neat and tidy she wants it. And I'll make a comment here. In my opinion, women have a much better eye
Yes, they do.
for keeping it clean and
Yes, they
tight than guys do. Now, some guys are good at it,
Yeah.
don't take me wrong.
No, but they do.
all in
They're
all,
meticulous.
yeah, all in all, women are better at it. So we need to listen a little bit, right?
Yeah, we do. Well, Lori has a great story talking about this car. And what are you going to do for your 50th reunion?
My 50th class reunion is next month in the Keys, and it's been my goal since I bought this car 2 years ago to drive it down there for the 50th
That
reunion.
is amazing.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Won't
And-
that be cool?
And
be
you know, if
fun.
something ever happens, not it will, but people always will help you with this.
Yeah.
Always,
Right.
always.
Well, and you bring up a point too. We talked about a little bit is a fire extinguisher and a toolbox. You should always have that in these old cars. We've mentioned it before, but for safety reasons, fire extinguisher, which Lori brought up, is the last resort
Yeah.
because you can ruin a lot of things. But it's better than your car burning down.
That's right.
Now you just bought a what?
A fire blanket.
Yeah.
Fire blanket. That's a good idea. I would stress that. We haven't heard about that yet.
Yeah.
On our channel.
Yeah.
But you know what I like? She sells wine. I think a case of wine on the way down to the Keys would be excellent.
I thought you were going to say, bring us a case.
yeah, bring us guys.
I can do that too.
Let's look. I want to point out this real quick on the Belair, and they made it gold, and that's how it was. It was gold back in the day.
Yes,
but look
yeah.
how nice and
Oh, it's
beautiful
gorgeous.
this is. And again, this would have been the most luxurious package, being a Belair. So, but man,
at
just
this, look
you
at
know,
this.
like you said, Steve, to redo all this stainless and chrome,
Thousands.
Oh, crazy.
Probably my Social Security check would go towards it too.
Yeah. Now look at the personality back here, right? And point out your favorite part.
Yeah.
Where the gas goes.
It's not under the license plate. It's on the side.
And that's always fun to share with people.
Yeah. Well, the 56 and 57 had this. The 55 didn't. So they both had a 56.
I believe
that
the
you had to turn.
56, didn't
Yeah.
it come out of
Come
the...
out? Yeah, come out of the light.
Well,
the light.
Yeah, the 56, you turn a thing here
Yeah.
and the
The
whole
whole-
entire
comes down, yeah.
taillight drops.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they still made it for the 2 years, and it's just awesome.
Right. Now she's got blue dots, here,
dots.
which I guess technically are still illegal, aren't they? Or
yeah,
do
I'd
they-
heard.
I mean, nobody's.
No,
Yeah.
no.
But I love them. They give a really cool purplish
yeah.
look.
Yeah.
In the back, and you got your reverse lights in here, which are in the bumper. I mean, look at the design of the bumper.
Yeah.
I
You have
mean,
to step back here. Our cameraman has to step back and just look at this picture right here. Look at that back window, how beautiful it is, and how everything's proportioned right. Look at that.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
gorgeous.
could you imagine cruising on a Saturday night, listening to some AM, Chuck Berry, you know?
Here's the
Elvis.
tag light, which is cool. It's inserted into the bumper and it shines up on your tag, as you can see. Just gorgeous. Dual exhaust, of course.
Yep, yep.
Let's look in the back
How
here.
many, what we say about the bodies? How many can we put in
Oh
here?
yeah, nice one.
I'm thinking about 4 small ones.
Now this is pretty much all stock, right?
Yeah. Oh, you have to see this.
Yeah, go ahead,
Oh,
point
look
it.
at this. Look at this right here. Jacking instructions. Okay, there's your jacking instruction. This is a well where the tire would sit. This is the old pie cut bias ply, like that would be original on it. And that's so cool.
Is that the original rim? Do you know? It looks like
It looks like the original rim. Yeah, it's narrow.
Probably.
Yeah.
And all that.
Probably.
CD player.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a CD changer.
Oh,
I've
changer,
never been
okay.
able to figure it out though.
I never saw a box like that yet.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Is that the toolbox?
Yeah,
Is that what
that's
that
the
is?
toolbox.
That's cool.
It's beautiful.
Is that mounted?
No,
No.
no, you
Oh,
can just,
okay.
you know, look at here.
Okay.
I'll show the viewers. Look at,
Yeah.
see, look at.
Yeah, I never
Nice,
seen one either.
nice. I love it. I love it. It goes right with it, you know.
Yeah.
Everything's painted under here. Oh, look at this. This is what I look at. Look how nice the rubber is. Everything is, this car was very well put together. Very
Well,
well.
like she said, ground up rotisserie.
Yeah. Whoever did it did a great
restoration.
job. You know,
Beautiful.
everything's nice. Look at clean, everything.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. And like you mentioned, even with the bolts.
Yeah, bolts and everything.
All the bolts are right. All
This
the
is,
rubber.
I love seeing
is
this.
right.
This is
That would have been the original. It may have been a replacement, but it would have been
original
like
style.
this.
Yeah, there's a
Right.
number on it. Look at and all that. Yeah,
Right.
and that's cool.
Very,
Very
very
nice.
nice. Man, this is a gorgeous car, Lori.
Thank you.
It's got some 6x9 speakers in the back.
Yeah, well, we all had to have those, didn't we?
JBLs, so it's got some pretty good tunes.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's look, see what's going in on the business side here of the
Yeah,
driver's side.
let's let Lori show
Yes.
us really everything you got going on in there. I see you got LED gauges.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the gauges are, you've got the electronic gauges. I don't really like the smaller steering wheel, but I think it's probably better and easier to drive with a little bit smaller steering
Okay.
wheel.
Okay. But that's always easy to change later.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, is that tilt steering?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that would that have been original
No,
to
no,
the Belair?
no,
Because it almost looks original, the
Yeah,
steering
yeah,
column, the way it is, but they didn't have.
far as
that.
I know, I not
Yeah,
that
I
I
don't
can
know.
recall.
If any of our viewers know,
Yeah.
let us
yeah.
know.
I like the automatic on the column. It's very clean.
Right, and it's a 700 R4, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Transmission.
Overdrive.
And it's got a
3.42 rear end.
Yeah, which original 57 rear end.
Yeah, and you know she's got a great combination because she can get off the line a little bit faster if she wants, but then cruise at a lower RPM.
Absolutely.
You know, she got the best of both worlds.
Well, going to, like you said, going down to the
keys.
keys, right? You're going to be able to just cruise. Now, here's a cool thing, too. This right here is for moving your seat
Yeah, look at that knob.
up and down, and isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And you can see she's got the fire extinguisher. Always have a fire extinguisher. She's got the toolbox like we talked about. Yep. Here's your door handle to open the door. Pulls up. And like Steve pointed out, your vent window here. And then you got.
Look at that.
And you know, I don't know why they went away from the
look at that.
mechanical.
Look
You
at
know,
that.
like in my GTX, you got to push it, and it
Yeah.
inevitably just comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where this is all gear driven.
And for the viewers, do not push on here or pull it on the other ones with a little wing on it, like or a little lever, because you will loosen it up here on the window and could break it.
That's right.
Yeah, you never force it.
That's right.
I like this. It's detailed out in here, Lori.
Yeah.
That's what I look at. It's very nice and clean. You got my A+.
Well, again, whoever did it, and we pointed this out, but you look at all
Yeah,
the screws.
yeah.
Can I roll this window down?
Yeah,
I
sure.
always liked how
it's
these
interesting to see
operated.
that.
Watch how it goes.
And we have to shut the
So
door
it-
to show.
So it goes back, then forward and down.
Yeah.
And look at that. Yeah, and
Yeah,
let's
let's-
just
yeah.
show. This is called a hardtop, which Steve pointed out earlier.
Look at that. Hey,
But look at that.
Saturday night cruising the beach. Come on.
Yeah.
Some
yeah.
tunes. Little Elvis.
I never knew this about
Yeah,
a 57.
yeah,
That blows me away. I love that.
This is all in nice shape. The scutter,
Yeah.
everything. Look at no wrinkles. No, I mean, this car is just immaculate.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's get under the hood on this thing. You want to
ahead.
open it for us? Get under the hood on Scarlett.
Yeah.
We got to call her by her name. So go ahead and point out what you know here for us.
Well, there's a lot of chrome under here.
Yes.
I've got an extra fan here. Had a little challenge with it overheating at first, and my new mechanic was able to fix that. But I do have 2 fans in here. I put a larger master cylinder in. I do have disc on the front and drum brakes on the back.
Okay.
Let's see. He cleaned it up a lot. When I first got it, there were wires everywhere. It looked like a spaghetti factory.
He did a great job.
Yeah, he did an awesome job. And the engine was rebuilt about a month and a half ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And
How many miles have got on it since then, you think, roughly?
since then, maybe about 400 miles.
Okay.
Oh, wow, just
Very low.
really not even broke in completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hey,
Well, go ahead, Steve, point out
She's got some Flowtech heads, 292 valves,
Yeah.
roller
See the
rockers.
Flowtech
She's got a
heads
cam.
here.
350 is it? There's 350.
Yes,
350, 704. Great combination. Like she was saying, dual fans, air AC. You go on the internet, they make brackets for everything.
Yeah.
You could get a narrow belt, wide belt, lower it down, raise it up. You could put anything. But we call it traffic. Your mechanic did an awesome job. My hands off. Hats off to him. Thank you. Still early. But he cleaned that wiring up so there's no traffic and busy,
Right.
you know, and it looks like a show car under there. Look at the hood. Look at everything.
Yeah.
Look at, this is where they catch the coolant. This is, I've always liked these. It looks very stylish.
It didn't have one
No,
when I first got
yeah.
it, and I was going, why is it leaking?
Oh,
it was
yeah.
Aluminum radiator.
Yeah.
It's a must. Okay. It's just, and if you look here, look at all the bolts, everything. It's just, I'm blown away. I'm
Right.
fantastic. I love it.
Let me point out a few things Steve talked about. One, on the fans, you got both a push fan, which just pushes the air through, and then on the back side, it's a pull fan. So she gets double the amount of air. And that, what's it run, temperature-wise?
About 195 to 200.
Not too bad.
Not too bad, yeah, for
Not
this.
too bad.
And then, I want to say something before. Your mechanic, I already like him. I pointed out this for a reason, and I want to show the viewers. See how you flip this down? Because if you flip it up, and this here part of the clamp is up there, I've seen guys take and turn this and cut their hand wide open. So if you take and flip this down, and you ever have to do it, you slide right over it. That's just something I want to show the viewers.
On the belts, he had mentioned the belts. These are the V belts. So these are the old school V belts as opposed to a serpentine. And you can see she has 3 different belts.
Right.
So this would have been more old school, but like he said, you can get the pulleys and the brackets. You could make this a serpentine, which would have been a 1-piece, right?
Yes, yes. One piece with a puller.
Yeah, very clean, like you said. And he hid most of the wiring, which is awesome.
I had it switched back to a carburetor because it had the
Fuel injection.
fuel injection at first, and I just didn't like the way it ran. So
Yeah.
we went back to a carburetor, and I like it a lot better.
You know, I think the verdict's still out on those fuel
The
injections on
snipers
these.
or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what it is.
That's
You
what
hear-
it was, a sniper.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
it's
hear
not
a lot of, at least half the people are unhappy with them.
I hear a lot of good stuff, and then I hear some things. But
Yeah.
you know, it's different for every car.
Yeah. I'm with you, though. I like, and you did, you kept this, in my opinion, old school.
Yes.
Hot rod, you know, the carburetor, the headers, the way you did it, the disc in the front, the drums in the back. Now, does it stop okay now that you got that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I
good.
still people seem to cut in front of me, and they expect me to stop, and I'm sure that that's going to be a problem if I hit one of them.
Let's
don't want you to
mention
think that
that
way.
for a second, because that happens to me all the time, and I'm
Yeah.
sure it does you and other people. If you're out there and you don't own one of these cars, please give them an extra car length.
Yep.
Because we spend a lot of time and money, and these cars, you can't just go replace a fender easily or a piece of chrome or whatever. So please just give a little courtesy when you see one of these
Exactly.
cars driving. That's very, very important. Well, Steve, is there?
I mean, the rest of it's gonna. The picture tells what 1,000,000 words on this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
absolutely
beautiful.
love it.
We thank you so much for bringing us.
Yeah, and in closing, what would you like to tell the women out there about getting into this or being part of this?
Well, go to car shows and ask questions. And the thing about being a female is they can't look at you stupid or call you stupid or whatever, because you can just say, hey, I'm a female and I want to know. So ask
Good
questions,
point.
and if you see women with cars, go talk to them. They'll show you around the car. I love to do that. I really enjoy that. And you don't have to know how to work on them. Half the time I can't figure out what's in there, but you just need to get a good mechanic if you're going to get one, and just enjoy it. It's a part of history. When I drive this car, I'm driving history, and every place I go, I have to leave 30 minutes early, because I know that wherever I go, someone's going to come to me and tell me that they had one, their daddy had one, their grandfather had one, they always wanted one, and you always say, hey, you want me to open up the hood, and you show them, and
boy. Make their day.
it's just a part of history, and I got to tell you, she truly brings me joy.
Good.
Whenever I drive her, and people give me the thumbs up, and you know, and wave and beep and everything, and it makes me feel good.
Now, do you make your husband drive in the passenger seat?
Well, he did when he's deceased.
Oh,
And
I'm
that's
sorry.
okay. But yeah, he did. But he also, I let him drive it once.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
once, okay.
Good for you.
I was told that women, you know, need to let the men drive. I don't know why, but that's what I was told, because, you know, I've been made fun of for that occasionally. But
Well, you're like a pioneer in this.
yeah,
Well, the
it's fun.
51 Chop Mercury we had the other day, it was his wife's car.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He was able to take it out for the day.
Yeah, she let him take it out for the day.
Oh, if people are like, they'll come to you in the car show, and if I'm talking to some man explaining, they'll walk over to him, how long have you had this car?
Oh, yeah, I know.
And, you know, and then they have to go, it's her car.
Yep.
And then they realize it is, because.
Well, let's close with this.
Yeah.
Women, go for it.
Yes.
Here's
Yes,
a prime
exactly.
example
Right here.
right here. Just go
Thank
for
you.
it.
Yeah.
Don't
Thank you.
worry about anything. Just jump in with both
Yeah.
feet and go for it. She loves it. She's happy. We need to get the women involved. It's going to keep
Yes.
the car culture going.
Yeah.
So we're out of time. I'm
it.
Chip,
I'm Steve.
I'm Lori.
and this is
Chip's
Chip's
Garage.
Garage.